Hey guys, welcome back. Today I wanted to do a little versus. It's gonna be Welcome to Derry for Stranger Things, and I want to talk about season one against season one, and then I'll kind of do a little dive into the 5 seasons of Stranger Things. So to get right into it, season one of Stranger Things is fantastic. I remember when I watched it as it came out, like right away. I was always looking forward to the next season. Um, Season one is awesome. They got so much. Uh, it was just so different. It was so new in an old way. So like it's obviously based on a lot of like the 1980s horrors, and there was some nostalgia kicks for some people. They got to wear the Ghostbusters outfits. Like season one was fantastic. All we wanted to do was find where Will was and how they find him and what was going on with the government. And I think that season was great. Um, but I think that it started to really lull down, and I felt like I really want to talk about how after season one, the interest in for me, and I feel like probably for some other people, definitely drops because it's not as satisfying of a chase as the first season of mystery and wonder, where after that it kind of goes on these lulls, and I think the seasons are okay, and like I watched them and I enjoyed them, but they're okay compared to the first season, and that's normal. That's pretty normal for shows. Um, but that's why I want to talk about season one versus season one of Welcome to Derry, because I think season one of Welcome to Derry is so strong and so good that I already believe that after season one, we just got confirmed season two and three is coming. I want to talk about how I think the show Welcome to Derry is going to be generally better than the rest of the seasons of Stranger Things, and that those seasons will generally be considered a better TV show. And I know this is like a versus, so like I'm you know competing them, but I just think Welcome to Derry. The timing is perfect, obviously, because Stranger Things is ending, and this last season of Stranger Things is stopping, like the series. So people will be looking for that alternative, that new thing, that different thing with the same kind of intertwined story about children fighting a monster. And I think a lot of people, if they hadn't already watched it, aren't watching it at the same time, will jump over once Stranger Things is over. That being said, I also want to talk about the clear differences. Stranger Things is more of a Goonies style. It's definitely more than a younger audience can watch it. Just post teen um, and preteen. That's definitely going to be their spot where it's like the first horror movie esque scenario that they might get themselves into. And as I said, it's more of a Goonies, and I also want to say it's a bit more sci-fi than I would give it horror. Where Welcome to Derry it's a horror. It knows what it is. It's not trying to pretend it's not, and it is disturbing, disgusting, and terrifying. Everything I want in a horror show, right? Horror movie, horror show, doesn't matter. That's that's the baseline. Those are good. Crazy kills, creepy monster, characters that are interesting. And I do, spoilers alert, want to talk about episode one. Well, when they kill off most of the cast, like right away, and in episode two, you need to kind of get to know the audience. I loved it. I thought it was like I haven't seen this before, and I know they're going off source material, which is also great and kind of cheating compared to Stranger Things, where it's being written by the writers and directors. But I thought it was such an interesting way to do it because like the writers could have tried to figure out a way around that, or they could have just skipped that front bit and made it a part of I don't know the newspaper or something. But they didn't. They were like, we're going to show this because it's going to be so dramatic for the audience, and it hit. It hit to the point where I told my girlfriend who loves the movies, I think it's a bit too disturbing for you and a bit too gory because she loved the movies, but I was like, this might be too much. That being said, I think Stranger Things season one and the seasons moving forward stayed interesting. None of them were as good as the first season, and I think most people will agree with that. And that it lulled itself down. The writing got a bit sloppy. There's a lot of holes in a lot of areas that want answers to. and I'm terrified that it's going to be a Game of Thrones last episode because there's too much to fill in. Even give it 2 hours, you give it a 6 hour thing, it might just not be enough time and enough push for most people. So my real versus question here for you, and I'm gonna give my 2 cents on it, is do you think that Stranger Things being complete will be as good as Welcome to Derry as the next seasons come out? I personally think the quality of the seasons is going to be better and stay consistent for Welcome to Derry, where Stranger Things kind of dropped. So I believe that Welcome to Derry is going to be the better show. Maybe it won't be as worldwide as Stranger Things because it was such a global phenomenon, but I think the show quality is going to stay, and I think the popularity is only going to increase in time. Where I think Stranger Things held their fan base, got more people, and just kind of continued. I think Welcome to Derry is going to be the better TV show. I'm very curious on what other people think because I've been thinking this and like kind of putting it back and forth in my head for a while now. I am obviously a big Stephen King fan. Stranger Things definitely takes a lot from Stephen King. They even said like the font was a Stephen King esque. It came from one of the covers. Um, do you guys think that it's going to be better or worse, or do you think that they're not worse in comparison because one's much more adult-rated and much more horrifying, where one is, to me, much more of an adventure? Tell me what you think, and let's talk about it.